Hello everyone, my name is Nathan, and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included here in the One Duplicant Challenge. In the previous episode, we made our way to the NIOBIUM volcano, so we can tame it in today's episode. Looking at this, we still have plenty of oxygen for our suits, and also since we had a little accident here with the vomiting and everything, most of the oxalite evaporated, and therefore we have, well, over 80 kilograms of oxygen inside the module. That should also last for a couple of cycles, I would say. But yeah, the most important part now is to completely plan out the contraption so that we can bring the remaining materials we are missing. And I think for now I'm just gonna get this started by actually digging out most of the terrain, except for the tile that is gonna prevent the volcano from erupting too early. It's not like NIOBIUM volcanoes erupt too frequently, it's gonna be about every 50 cycles or so, but it's gonna erupt quite a bit of it, and we'll be needing the downtime to cool the materials. And here we are getting some more NIOBIUM. I'm so happy we have it. Now before we dig that up, I should be a little bit more careful, I guess. I think I want to go ahead and gather the materials up here with an automatic dispenser. Like, all of this debris needs to get out of the way so I can work. So sweep only, but everything, yes, and now we can sweep that up. Now I see a little problem. To the left we have magma quite immediately, and to the right we also don't have that much space, but we need to somehow utilize it to the best of our abilities, so let me think. The way we're gonna do this is with a pitcher pump. You actually let me know that you can automate the pitcher pump with a auto sweeper, which is something I did not know. While doing my research for this video and the NIOBIUM volcanoes, I came across a recent video of Two-Ledged City, and since I really liked his approach, it's gonna be heavily inspired by that, but I basically wanted to grasp the principle of it and I'm gonna make my own interpretation of it. So what I basically would like to accomplish is a pitcher pump made out of obsidian, or I don't even know. Yeah, it cannot even touch the liquid, so it doesn't matter what you build it out of. But this pitcher pump will be extending all the way here to the bottom. We'll be able to pick up the molten NIOBIUM through a auto sweeper. Then we need an auto sweeper, and we also need to cool it down. So this needs to be high up enough, but let's just put it right here for now. I made it out of copper because we're gonna specifically cool it. Now let's use obsidian as an insulation material in general here. If we manage to drop a little bit of liquid here as a coolant, then we can run our cooling loop through this tile. The auto sweeper will be able to pick everything up that drops to the bottom. And I guess we kind of would have to insulate this room here. This is gonna be a pain in the butt. But yeah, theoretically what we can do is put this into a bottle emptier. Now we need to be careful, like the bottle emptier I believe should be in a vacuum, where the auto sweeper should have a drop of liquid. I'm not sure about the vacuum, maybe we could just also have a drop of liquid here. Or we make it easier and push the bottle emptier up, and then what this is supposed to do is drop down below. Now why am I not doing it the same way we did all the other volcanoes? The reason for it is the NIOBIUM solidifies to a tile at a very low weight. It's like below 50 kilograms or so, and the NIOBIUM volcano outputs around 250 to 300 kilograms per second. So as soon as we cool down the molten NIOBIUM, even in the slightest, it is gonna solidify. That would involve robo-miners, and as you know, whenever you mine something, you lose half of the weight. So that would just halve our potential output here. Instead, what I've seen people suggesting, and I also seen a couple of videos on that, is you can drop it on a weight plate and just make sure you never drop too much. So let's grab that weight plate. Let me see. We could build it out of NIOBIUM. It would give us a higher overheat temperature, but I'm not really sure it's going to be worth it. I wanted to build it out of steel. Let me just check the NIOBIUM properties here. Thermal conductivity 54. And it's actually the same thing with the steel. So yeah, we need to process the NIOBIUM to actually make it really useful. So let's say we drop the NIOBIUM right here on top of a weight plate and therefore cool it down immediately. And now we can take either some steel tiles or maybe even better, the diamond window tiles. Now I just realized I did not unlock the window tiles just yet. That was quite silly of me. So I can't even plan this out with window tiles. Well, then I'm just gonna keep going with what I have for now. I just fear I don't have enough space for everything that I want to do. Now I think if we do this just right, we might actually succeed. All I have to do is put a block here first, like so. We can add the block behind it and not risk the magma entering the contraption. But we should do this step by step, very, very carefully. Yeah, check this out. We can just push the magma a little bit back. Hopefully I'm not getting any overpressure as a result. And now we just want to finish the corner here. Easy enough. Okay, that wasn't actually that bad. Let's clean things up. Well, so now let's keep going with the contraption. The niobium would be funneled down here. Then on the very top we need the space for a steam turbine plus a battery. So the ladder is at least a little bit in the way. Now what we want to do is extract the heat out of the weight plate immediately using either steel tiles or potentially diamond glass tiles. I totally forgot we need a way to control this with a mechanized airlock, and then I need a way to actually grab the materials with an auto sweeper within the steam room. That might potentially be a problem. So let's say our steam turbine is going to be right here. We can also build that out of copper and it will go right there. To be able for my auto sweeper within the steam room to reach this, I think we need to do something like this. So I can diagonally reach it. And then, no, I cannot have an insulated layer here. I need to push the heat up. So we cannot have the mechanized airlock this way. We need to, oh, is it made out of steel? Yes. And then we just have two metal tiles here on the top and potentially even here. So we need to build something like this. And no, that's not gonna, that might actually reach. Let's maybe get that built, see how it works out. Okay, turns out I had to put the auto sweeper one more block down, but this way I can actually reach this tile. So a little bit of liquid is gonna drop immediately, solidify into an item that we can pick up and then cool down in the usual two phases we have. Steam room and then aqua tuner. So we could go ahead, surround this with a couple of tiles, maybe complete the steam room here. Actually, that doesn't leave me with enough for the aqua tuner, and we barely have the space for it too. I guess we push it all the way to the right side there. And then once we come back, we need to grab some more steel. Or if the diamond tiles are better, I'm gonna go with that, because they can also take more heat. So what if we just added a large power transformer here? That means we can take some cabling, hook this directly up to the power transformer, and this way we could easily route the cabling. And we don't necessarily have to have the aqua tuner all the way here. We can technically still close this off. And then we can take some conductive wiring to hook all of these up. Let's even do, no, let's not do the door. That one might be a little bit hot. So I'd rather go through the ceiling here directly over to the auto sweeper and then connect these like so. Now as for the weight plate, we want to send a green signal as long as we are, let's say, below 10 kilograms. Why not? Or 0. No, let's do below 10. So below 10 kilograms, this is going to send a green signal, which is when we want to activate the auto sweeper here. And then as soon as the auto sweeper cannot keep up picking up the materials here, then it should send a red signal and stop the auto sweeper from adding even more bottles. But essentially what we're trying here is preventing an entire tile from solidifying by just adding a little bit of liquid every time this drops here. I mean, it's still going to be 200 kilograms, right? But it's going to drop slowly. Good, that means next up we need another conveyor loader. That's gonna go here, and as of this point I just don't have enough steel, but we might be able to salvage this. We should probably go ahead and take care of the aqua tuner loop. It's gonna come in here from the sensor, and then we, let me see. Yeah, we're gonna go up, go over here, then this is gonna be the bypass bridge, and we can keep going here with the loop. The first thing we want to do is probably, cool down the steam turbine here. Actually, I'm not so sure. Yeah, looks like I want some aluminium as well. I forgot that as a nice cooling method for the pipes. But we're gonna cool down the steam turbine as well as the power transformer. We then move over here, do another radiant pipe right there, where we're gonna have another drop of liquid. And then we can make our way over, back down into the aqua tuner loop. And at some point, we're gonna use that loop to also introduce the last cooling phase. Let's add the liquid pipe thermocenter, a little bit of cabling here as well. You know, I have the feeling what we should do is actually first go down here. Yeah, so I'm not gonna go over just yet, and I'm also gonna remove that bridge. So instead we're gonna bypass the downwards, go through here, and this is gonna allow us to make a second cooling phase right here at the bottom. So I think here in the next phase, this little bit right here, is going to contain a battery and a small compartment to cool things down. Though it might be more convenient to leave the path open. Yeah, let's close it off right there instead. And maybe 10 tiles to cool things down. Yeah, let's do something like that. All of this is going to be filled up with metal tiles. And we're also going to fill it up with aluminium. So we're going to go through here, do the little loop-de-loop, and just make sure that both the battery and the items are going to be cooled, which means we also need to do the loop. Let me see, conveyor rails. So we pick them up. They're going to make a little tour through the room here. Actually, this way is not convenient. I kind of need to go down first so I can have my sensor here and then the shutoff in this place. Conveyor shutoff, I don't have to build this out of steel. So this is going to go there. And then conveyor rail thermosensor is going to go here. Let's hook that up with cabling. If the temperature is not right, we're just going to keep going, preventing new items from being output from the conveyor loader. And this is just going to go in a circle. However, if we reach a certain temperature, we want to leave the building. And at this point, I think we're just going to do the same thing we do with the cooling loop. So we go through this and then we can go up completely cooled down. To put this to the test, we're just going to add a conveyor chute here. So the end items should end up right there for now. Something else that would be nice to set up right now is a targeting beacon. And I think I might actually do that here on the other side. So it lands somewhere in this region. And I'm just going to build a ladder up here so we can reach it. Then we might just go ahead and use a payload opener here. Now, where's my power coming from? This side. Yeah, it might be wise to put the solar panels here. We have enough materials for 2 more. Yeah, we could easily add 3 of these solar panels. Hook all of this up. This is going to go through here and then directly into the payload opener. I'm also going to build a tiny little barrier here so I don't burn up the solar panels whenever I'm starting the rocket. Alrighty, well, you look at that. We've almost built everything. At this point, I need to go back for supercoolant, aluminium, some more copper ore, some steel, and I need to research the diamond tiles. Everything else, I believe, can remain in place. I also got a beacon in case I want to shoot something over, such as the supercoolant. That would actually be great. I guess no risk, no fun. Let's go ahead, switch that target to go back home. I'm gonna acknowledge the warnings, begin that launch sequence, and I probably have to spend some points here into piloting now. We could even go as crazy as this. I mean, we're gonna need the field research either way, right? In order to analyze the NIOBIUM volcano. Why are you idling? I probably lost my crew again. Yeah, it untakes your crew once you use the Trailblazer module. So now I can go back in and actually launch that. Oh no, I totally forgot to close this off. That's my bad. Don't heat up too much. Okay, I mean, we can always rebuild it, but it doesn't look too bad. Good, so now I'm making my way back to the main planetoid here. We had some overheating damage problems here with the battery compartment. But other than that, everything is running smoothly. We should now have enough supercoolant. Also, we can pitcher pump it up right here. Wait, why is this still dropping? I probably made a huge batch the last episode. Either way, I'm gonna be coming back and then we shoot the supercoolant over and I'm gonna load the materials that I require, such as the copper ore and the steel, back in. I will probably have to do some more crafts here. Let's get about 20 steel crafts in the joint once we come back. Wonderful, we are back home. I did most of the chores, and if we have a look inside the rocket, I do have a couple of materials here, such as aluminium, plastic, copper, diamond, copper ore, igneous rock. Inside the storage, I have over 2 tons of steel. That should suffice to do the rest. So at this point, we only need to do the research. Let's have a look at that all the way down here. The diamond window tiles, or window tiles in general. In order to do that, I had to go ahead and unlock some more of the research skills. We might have to skill scrub ourselves again before we go back. Wonderful, research has begun here. We don't actually need to do a lot of it. So maybe we can already think about how to get the supercoolant into the interplanetary launcher. Let me see, I need at least a bottle emptier. And then we want to store that inside of here together with a pitcher pump. No, a liquid pump. Yeah, that's going to behave a little bit better, and it's just directly going into the interplanetary launcher. And of course, to make this work, we need a little bit of drywall right there at least. You know, just to be on the safe side, I'm just going to drywall everything up. But I think as the liquid drops, it cannot evaporate into space. Ooh, will you look at that? We actually got a cuddle pip. I had no idea. And I'm also not sure how we actually achieved that. Anyways, we're almost done here with the system. Let's see, it's still set to the correct planetoid. Now, I do have a beacon here, however, it's probably not going to work overnight. I should have completely closed this up, so there's no possibility for the shots to actually miss, but if I just shoot it in the morning, we should be golden. So what we want to do is get some supercoolant in the joint here, 200 kilograms per shot, that would be great. I got the bottle, but it is a little bit late. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna make it. Where are you bringing this supercoolant? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm actually bringing it back because that has a priority of 6. Okay, then let's set this to priority of 7. And Nathan, you just drop it. Okay, nice. There it is. We got our first supercoolant. It is also the next day. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually shoot those 200 kilograms. And it should exactly add up, so it shoots perfect and the interplanetary launcher is empty again. That's what I like, clean and swift. So now we do this one more time. That would mean we have 400 kilograms. Now, how much do we need? We just need to fill up the cooling loop essentially. But on the other side, I just want to make sure that I got enough. That's the third bottle, so 600 kilograms. That would be 800 kilograms. Now, looking at my pipes, we don't really have 80 pipes, right? Yeah, if we stick with this cooling loop, then 800 kilograms will be enough, and also a little bit to spare to cool down the auto sweeper and the steam turbine. But just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna do this one more bottle, and then that's gonna be it. Wonderful, it's time to wrap up the last remaining research. Then I'm gonna figure out which tile is better, the diamond versus the steel tile. And then I'm probably just gonna take off. And research is done, finally. Window tile made out of diamond. Let's have a look at the properties here. Yes, thermal conductivity is way better. And of course the melting point is also higher. So that is a good sign. Let's go ahead, get skills grubbed, and then we're gonna make our way over to the other planetoid once again. Okay, I'm actually back here at the planetoid, but my landing path is obstructed. That is absolutely crazy. So it's probably these two tiles here. And I'm so glad I was too lazy to get rid of the trailblazing module that I technically didn't need anymore, but geez. No, wait a second. I cannot do that. I first have to change the... Oh my gosh, please. Yeah, tell me. I can deploy that. Okay, at least that. So we can make our way down, get rid of whatever is obstructing the landing path. There we go. And I'm suspecting it's going to be these two tiles, right? Good, let's try this again. Yes, and I can choose the platform, thankfully. But yeah, these little things. I mean, I was able to take off, so I should also be able to land, in my opinion. But after all, the rocket is back and we can take advantage of all the materials we have in there. For instance, we now can build all of these pipes, which is nice. But even better, we can add those window tiles as a conductor. However, we do need a little bit of automation here. Let's go with a thermosensor. We can have that right here. There's actually one slot left, and then we just bring those cables over. Now, we might actually want to switch those to steel wires. Right up to this point, I'm gonna go with copper and then a bunch of steel wires just up to the door. In the meantime, I'm bringing all the supercoolant to the interplanetary launcher. We already have that in here. And then all we really have to do is bring it all the way down into the cooling loop eventually. Nice. Now, finally, everything is going according to plan. It's not like the last episode where everything wasn't going to plan. We are starting to build the aluminium pipes. I will be filling this place up with steel, and then we somehow need to get the supercoolant to touch all of the important machinery. Very nice. This is looking good. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and fill this up like in the example. Also, a little change that I made is I set up some bridges here, so they are not going to be heated up by the falling liquid. I'm missing a skill. Let me actually see. Oh, I don't have mechatronics engineering, of course. More diamond window tiles, and afterwards we can close this off. The NIOBIUM volcano is still dormant. Maybe one thing we should now do is set up a drop of supercoolant here, so I will have to switch this around briefly, and actually we might not even have to. We could just use the pipes. Just a temporary vent here, and then we're gonna allow one drop to go in. So if we add a little bridge here, then everything should flow. Yes, yes, yes. And we just want one drop right there. Well, 10 kilograms. And this is gonna be dropped right here. Everything that is too much I can mop up at the bottom. Oh, some of it flashed because this tile here is very hot, so the supercoolant got heated up, but I think eventually it's gonna cool down again. Yeah, of course, we cannot use the gas here. That is a problem. Let me think. Condensation point is 436. So theoretically, as soon as it touches the window tiles here, we should be fine. I forgot the water! We need water for the freaking steam room. It was this tiny little tile of igneous rock. And now obviously everything is kind of overheating, so I will have to replace it. Just building some metal tiles helping to condense this again. And yeah, I guess since the volcano is dormant, let's just get rid of that igneous rock, because it's just doing the opposite of what I tried to accomplish. However, that means we are interested in maybe analyzing the volcano as soon as possible. We need field research for that. We can take it, no problem. Now do this as quickly as possible. Would be great if we can finish this in today's cycle. Wow, actually we were really quick about this. Next activity in 9 cycles, are you serious? The eruption period is 70 seconds every 9,000 seconds and it's 281 kilograms per second. Good, we're almost through here, down to a couple of micrograms. But actually, forgetting the water reminds me we totally forgot the steam turbine. Oh geez, I do not even have the space to dump the liquid now. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the thermosensor one more block down. We're gonna go ahead and use some bridges, like so. And then I can just go straight down with this guy and dump it right there. So thermosensor is now further down and I have the space for this liquid vent. I could also have done it the other way around, just needed a little more space. Very nice, we have our vacuum back, and if I do this right, I should be able to push this drop over, because this drop here is all we need. So 2 tiles like so, and then add a tile here, and hopefully that's just gonna be pushed over. Yes, nice. That means I can get my bottle emptier back, I can get everything back. Pitcher pump, and we need that auto sweeper. Now another thing I'm probably gonna take care of is the backup power here. We should have enough copper to do that. Okay, next up I'm gonna bring the rest of the 10 kilograms into this room to cool down the jumbo battery. So supercoolant, but no enable auto bottle. Yeah, I'm just gonna bring all the bottles that are left here. Also, we need to continue the wiring here and eventually it's just gonna go through. Okay, we're done here with the lower part. It's time to close this off. It can now erupt. We don't actually have to act right away. There it is, the room closed off. We have a rail for the items and we obviously have the cooling loop, supercoolant. Nice, that's actually looking good. Now looking at the automation, there's a potential problem we want to fix. Let's say we already have enough heat in the chamber and we open up the door. Then at this point we technically don't want new liquid to enter the weight plate room. So it would be better for us to, for instance, go upstairs here and connect this with an AND gate. So 2 conditions have to be true. There's nothing on the weight plate and the door is closed. We want more heat, so therefore we also want more molten niobium. So all we really have to do is fix this. Yeah, we can just go ahead and connect the output of the AND gate to the auto sweeper. With that out of the way, we have almost 8 cycles left to actually go ahead and fill this with water. Also finally gonna close off this room. We already set the weight plate. In this case, I wanna add some more supercoolant right here. And that will be the last place we actually require it. Okay, here we go. Once again, I flew back and forth in order to send over the remaining water that I needed. Well, all the water that I needed. And we are about to arrive once again on Obsidibo. Now you can see all of these interplanetary payloads are filled with water. So now I'm basically replaying the past half an hour or so. What I've done wrong is I had a hot piece of drywall here and then the supercoolant that I dumped here actually evaporated and then it condensed again. It fell down here. It messed everything up. It was just absolute insanity. And we have to be careful how we fill up the loop. So I decided for now I'm just gonna dump my supercoolant and then later on we're gonna pick it up with a simple pump. I should have some more plastic around. Though now, honestly, I want to be careful. Jeez. Did I really have to mess this up in another way? Okay, let's see if we manage to route this properly. So all the water needs to go down, and it doesn't go down here, but it should be going into the steam turbine output. Hopefully there's not much supercoolant left. Yeah, looks like I won't have to fiddle around with this for much longer. Anyways, let's now close this up. I think that's the next thing we need to do. I probably now want to connect this in order to release a little bit of water. I need the space here. Okay, nice. I think that was actually the last of it. So now all my supercoolant resides in here. And now if everything goes right, we can just go ahead, connect this and get all the water from the payload opener. I brought about 2 tiles worth of water, so we should be able to fill this up and then get the aquatuner loop running as soon as possible. We still have 1.6 cycles left until the NIOBIUM volcano activates. Let's make sure we get all the settings right. I want this above 0. This is when we activate the aquatuner. And as for the items, we probably want them above 190 degrees or something along these lines. Let's maybe do 175. If it is above 175, it needs to do another loop around the room. Nice, it is dripping over. That's a good sign. That means we can use the aquatuner and we should be getting plenty of steam in a short amount of time. Let's get that mini gas pump already installed here. That's the wrong one. We need a liquid pipe and then we can go ahead connect this. Wonderful. And that will bring the supercoolant. However, we will want to switch the bridge so we actually fill up the cooling loop and not the steam room. We do have a little bit of overheat damage on the liquid pump. I'm not sure, can we actually make it through? Geez, this is not something I really anticipated. Why is this even so hot? It's over 100 degrees, which is a little bit of a problem. Oh no, I made a mistake here. I did not properly remove the previous bypass. Oh my gosh. This is absolutely killing me. This is an absolute nightmare. This pipe needs to go up instead of down. Well, there might be a way. What if we remove this guy and then just mop up a little something here? Just enough. Yeah. Now, wait. Where are you bringing this? Over here. I actually don't want that. Just keep it right there. We're gonna remove this tile. Now I can access the room, quickly build everything. Remove the materials, rebuild these 2 tiles, and then it is like as if we were never here. And we can even go one step further, drop the supercoolant back here. Supercoolant. And it should... okay, that's why I have the tile here. Good, now we replace the power transformer. How much supercoolant do we have left here? A little bit. And now we just wait for the loop to be filled up. In the meantime, I think we can hook it up to power, right? Yeah. Overheat damage. Are you freaking serious? Oh my gosh. Okay, in this case, I think it's just time to hook this up. So at least we can see the thermal aquatuner running a couple of times. Okay, if we connect this now, the aquatuner is running, at least, you know, for a couple of packets, and then we just have to get it cool enough so everything functions. But man, why does it have to be so hard? At least we're below the 100 degrees. How is the volcano doing? Okay, we still have 0.4 cycles. It's all the time in the world. I think I need to hook up the battery at least so the aquatuner can run more frequently. And we now already got it down to 80 degrees, 75. Good. That means I'm gonna reconnect this and add the rest of the supercoolant. Oh, looks like it is actually active. And do we still have time? Yeah, 12.4 cycles. That means I can end the episode on a cliffhanger. But we're now down to temperature, so I'm gonna enable auto repair. Did we fill up the loop? I gotta fix this. I mean, we don't even need to remain on this planetoid. We can just go ahead, fly back, and then in 12 cycles time we come back and activate everything. Wonderful. I would say this is the final build. In 12 cycles we shall have our first eruption, and then we can do all the settings and get it launched. Maybe one last thing we can do here is just set this to all. So we will be picking up the materials. I'm just gonna go ahead and clean things up a little bit, maybe close off this wall, and that's that. Yeah, since I believe I have completed the build here, I'm just gonna pack things up. I collected all the materials in these 2 storage bins, so now if I sweep them up, I should be able to just bring them here, for instance. And then I will have no more precious materials other than, you know, this little bit of supercoolant. I just see there is really hot material. I do not want like 800 degrees obsidian. No, thank you. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I should be really careful with that. I mean, we have to come back eventually to build a interplanetary launcher. But yeah, now I have data banks at 900 degrees. Are you serious? Wait, how hot is it in here? So now we have to extract the hot materials and bring them outside. Hopefully we can finish this in a good amount of time. Is there anything hot left? I don't think too hot. I'm happy with that result. Let's just go ahead and screw it. We're gonna fly back to the home planetoid, acknowledge the warnings, and begin that launch sequence. Finally going back home, and then in 12 cycles we should be able to enjoy the fruits of our labor. But yeah, with that out of the way, we're gonna wrap it up for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Have a great time and see you soon. Bye bye.